Kim with Mark.
Well, it's officially back to school season, and our friend Dr. Tracy Alloway is back. And today we're talking about kids and the anxiety they might be facing when they return to school. Welcome back to River City Live. And especially this time of year, and with kids that were in isolation or quarantine, whatever, now they're back, there's more stress that they're seeing.
Yes, that's true. I'm certainly seeing a spike in the clients that are coming to me. Separation anxiety, just general anxiety, is a really big concern, both for the parents and their children.
Absolutely. So what are some things that we should be looking for to kind of put our finger on it, saying, hey, this is it. This is what's happening right now, and it's not something else?
Yeah, so a big thing is just even them expressing a lot of fear about going back, just not wanting to maybe leave their parents or even leave their home, and kind of creating excuses that maybe don't seem normal for your particular child.
And what would those excuses be? So you said not normal, so just anything that's kind of like, that's not par for the course. I've never heard of this before being an issue.
Sure. Well, a lot of times if your child is usually pretty independent, happy-go-lucky, if they become more clingy, not wanting to leave, just saying, Mom, don't leave me, or Dad, just stay close, or just a few more minutes, or I don't want to get out of the car, or it's too hot, anything that just doesn't really seem like a natural excuse for them.
Is there anything that we could do to prepare the kids? Let's say we're starting to see some of these signs before school happens, and we know we have a couple days. Is there anything that we could do just to kind of build up their self-esteem a little bit, or just take some of the stress off of them before we ship them off?
Sure. There's a couple of things. The first thing is to actually validate them. So often when you're seeing that separation anxiety, that's because they feel a greater need to be close, to be attached, to bond with the parents. And so you want to just assure them, just say, honey, I love you. We've had such a great summer, and kind of reflect on real concrete examples of how you are there for them, and just let them know that that's true. A second thing that we can do is even look ahead and say, well, what are you excited about in going back to school? So get them having a positive future focus as well.
What about, let's say they come home from school, is there something then to have that conversation about how did it go, and just make sure you're checking in with them?
Yeah, and it's great to always check in with your children. An important thing to remember is not to pre-impose your own anxieties as a parent onto them. So don't say questions like, was it tough?
Right.
Rather keep it open-ended. How was it? And even kind of nudge them in the more positive. Did you have a good time? Tell me about the friends you made. Tell me about, what you did at recess, and kind of focus more on the fun side rather than how tough was it?
That's actually a really good point, because a lot of times we do it, we don't even know or recognize we're doing it. Like, was it hard to wear a mask all day at school? I could only imagine. And your kid's like, whoa. So I didn't think about that, Dad, but now I am. So that's a really good point. One of the things you have on here too in this list is blow a bubble.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about that.
Yeah, so when anxiety kicks in, it kicks in our brain's emotional center, your amygdala, and that activates all your physical senses. Your breath gets a little faster, maybe your hands get clammy, and so even as adults, we may experience this when we do feel anxious, and so children feel that too. And so the way to counter that is not to use language, because that language center is too soft. Your emotions are just firing, and it's really loud, like on a megaphone, saying you're worried, these things are going to happen. And so the way to counter that is almost to reverse engineer it by using your body to calm your mind. And the breath is a really powerful and scientifically proven way to do that. So instead of just saying, take a deep breath, for them, especially young children, they may not know what a deep breath feels like for them. So the way to do it is, okay, breathe on my hand, and let's make it bigger, and so you're kind of blowing that imaginary bubble using their breath as a cue for them.
And that's something that's easy to do, and I feel like there's more and more studies being released on the power of just breathing. I think there was something like the Navy SEALs do box breathing.
Sure.
The 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out, and you keep doing the cycle, and in a short amount of time, you just kind of hone in and relax, but you're focused, and I think that's the key. My last question for you too, as time goes on, let's say weeks or so, and kids, they're not really adjusting, and they're still, full of anxiety and stress. What can we do at that point as parents?
I think as parents, it's really important to step in, seek help. There's so many online resources, online therapy sites available even for children and parents to go to together. So I think that even if you don't feel comfortable speaking to your child, definitely seek a professional to help them just even have a sounding board. Maybe all they want to say is, I don't like being back in school, and just having someone safe that they feel they can share that to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if people want to learn more about you and your books, where can they go?
I have a website, tracyalloway.com. I post all these fun videos that I get to do with you guys there too.
Well, thank you so much. Stick around, more to come right after this.